Welcome, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to hear my trading and market updates. This is Uncle Frank, and I'm not a financial advisor, nor is any of the content to be construed as financial advice. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. Please remember to hit the like button if you enjoyed the presentation, and be sure to subscribe to the channel so you're alerted when I have new information to share. So now let's get into the latest updates. Hey, welcome back, everyone. So let's review. That's the 30-minute chart on your screen. The gray periods are after hours and the dark periods are actual trading hours. So the day of our earnings call, we traded sideways. That's the first gray arrow on your left, right? Then after hours, we began the greatest earnings call I've ever heard. That's the white arrow on your screen. But the stock was trading down. And this is not one of those buy the rumor, sell the news kind of moments, in my opinion. Everyone and their mother was expecting a rally on a call like this. We just had the best third quarter in our entire 103-year history. We expanded our retail popcorn line into 2 new big retailers. We've got Taylor Swift and Beyonce for Q4 and other artists in the bullpen. Total revenue grew by over 45% compared to Q3 of 2022. We finished the quarter with nearly $730 million in liquidity. Guys, we made $12.3 million compared to losing $227 million. Then to top all that off, you see that yellow arrow? The actor strike was over. I mean, what an amazing trade setup. But then he did it again. Even though we finished the quarter with nearly $750 million in liquidity, Adam decided this was the best time to announce he's diluting more. This time he destroyed the rally before it ever began. He could have did this last week, and I think the stock may have dropped, but after a call like this, we would have recovered quickly, in my opinion. He could have did this next week and probably sold stock at a much higher price. But that's not how Adam sells our stock. He likes to sell low, like he did with Ape. You remember the pounce? This isn't the first time Adam or Citi has killed a rally. It's the first time they killed it before the rally. But pre-split, we were charging up to like 840. Adam put out his famous, bankruptcy risk tweet out of nowhere. Drove the stock back down into the 4s. Okay? Citi, our chief investment banker, they love to reiterate over and over again that they have a sell recommendation on the stock, and they love to slash the price. But this time, Adam changed it up. He destroyed the rally before it could ever take off. And that explains why after hours, trading was still pretty muted, even with all this amazing news. That tells me that the smart money knew something, which means there might have been some coordination here. So what are Adam's motives, you might ask me? Well, the one motive has never changed. Adam does not want a sudden spike in the stock, because if there are billions of synthetic shares out there, that could spark a short covering event, which in my opinion is the last thing Adam Aron has always wanted. He will come out and squash a rally to stop it. Why? Because a spike in the stock could quickly morph into a short squeeze. And Adam knows that if there is a squeeze, he is going to lose a certain unknown percentage of apes. They will stop supporting the stock. They will stop supporting the company. Okay. The other motive is, as I've said 100 times, Wall Street is in our boardroom. They lead our boardroom. They give advice in our boardroom, and we follow it. Okay. The leader of our board of directors is Philip Lader. He is a senior advisor to Morgan Stanley Institutional Trading. Our CFO, mergers and acquisitions from Morgan Stanley, right? Our chief investment banker, Citi, is short AMC. Okay, they have no interest in this stock getting out of control. And as far as I'm concerned, if that was planned that way, Okay, if multiple parties conspired to push this stock down or hold it down, to me that's conspiracy to commit securities fraud. Now, Frank, that's a serious charge. I don't have, I can't prove it, guys. But here's the thing. So far, what we do know is our CEO has been blackmailed. We do know our CEO is being sued for breach of fiduciary duty. So for me, conspiracy to commit securities fraud is really not a reach anymore. Now, I am just as disappointed as you are by what Adam did. All that amazing news for nothing. It just gets crushed. I am vindicated in one respect. I think for 6 months now, I've been telling you, if Wall Street and our board and our senior management, if they're all working together, we're not going to beat them. If prime banks and brokers, predatory short hedge funds, regulators are going to sit on the sidelines and do nothing, I mean, if they're all working together, we're not going to beat them without a black or white swan event. Some event, a surprise event, that would adversely impact the leverage chain of the hedge funds. That would turn their own prime banks and brokers against them. It would put them to a decision. That's going to be the only thing. The other thing we could do is try to expose the short position prior to the split, which I think was in the billions. And that's not an exaggeration. If there were 3.8 million shareholders, and they each owned, only 530 shares apiece on average, that would have been 2 billion shares right there. Okay? AMC Project Popcorn is the one way we can prove that there were, the apes may have owned the float 2 or 3 times over. Ask yourself this question. Over a year and a half ago, Adam Aron admitted, retail owns more than 90% of the float. And if you asked him today, he would say the same thing. Retail owns over 90% of the float. Do you really believe we haven't made any progress in that area over the past year to 2 years? It's absurd. So one thing you could do if you wanted to help is go to amcprojectpopcorn.com, print out the affidavit, call your broker on their toll-free number during business hours. Ask them, how many shares did I own on these key dates? They'll be able to look it up for you quickly. Once you have that populated, call your bank and see if they have a notary available, your local bank branch, right? Go over there, sign the document in front of the notary. They're going to stamp it, and you're going to upload it to the Project Popcorn website. Now, please keep in mind, you're not going to have to disclose who your broker is, your account number, your social security number. Of course, when you're alone with the notary, they may ask you for an ID, but you're not going to have to verify your identity with a driver's license at the website. No, but it is a signed affidavit. Okay, so fill it out honestly, accurately, sign it in front of the notary, okay, and then upload it to the website. It's really that easy. Even if you've already sold all your stock, even if you have multiple accounts, you could print out multiple affidavits. Call your broker, fill out the data, send it in. Let's prove how many times over we own this float. Because the truth is, even now, if every ape bought 52 shares, we would buy the whole float with 3.8 million shareholders. So these are really the only paths to victory, in my opinion. And why do you say that? Well, here, what took down Credit Suisse? Credit Suisse was short AMC. Credit Suisse is a 167-year-old Swiss bank. Credit Suisse put a 95-cent price target on AMC, and a crisis in the leverage chain of Archegos basically dragged that whole bank down, right? It's a 167-year-old bank. Do you really think that can't happen again? Of course it can. So if you want to give up, I understand. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to continue to fight. But you're going to have to do something. You're going to have to do your part. That's why you should go to amcprojectpopcorn.com, print out that affidavit and get it done. Anyone on Twitter that says this is bad, this is nefarious, these people behind it, let me tell you something. Those are people that are paid to get you off track, in my opinion. So do your part, get your affidavit done, and get it in. Are you in the camp that thinks it's all a coincidence? There's no coordination going on? Don't forget, Friday was also options expiration day, right? Our annual shareholder meeting was Wednesday. Thursday could have been one of the greatest days we ever had in the stock, in my opinion. Okay? By Adam's little announcement, wiping out all the potential gains we could have had, you also wiped out this entire series of calls. Everything expiring on that day from a strike of 8 all the way up to, what, 21.50? I mean, there was even a bid there. I mean, you raked all this premium off the table for the market makers, for Wall Street. So, you tell me, guys, are you still buying that, Adam is, choke on this against Wall Street? You really think he's on your side? Hey, I want to thank you for watching, and please remember to hit the like button after this slide if you enjoyed the presentation. Subscribe to the channel and set the alert so you're notified when I have new information to share. See you at the bell.